down the sweet county Limerick one cold winter's night. All the turfs were burning when I saw the light, and the drunken old midwife went tipsy with joy as she danced round the floor with her slip of a boy, singing banjin and bowies and gamhna, and the juice of the barley for me. Oh, when I was a gussin of 8 years old or so, was me turf and me primer to school I did go, to a dusty old schoolhouse without any door. There lies a schoolmaster blind drunk on the floor, singing banjin and bowies and gamhna, and the juice of the barley for me. At the learning I wasn't such a genius, I'm thinking, but I soon beat the master entirely at drinking. Got away, got a wedding for 5 miles around, but myself in the corner was sure to be found, singing banjin and bowies and gamhna, and the juice of the barley for me. One Sunday the priest read me out from the altar, saying you'll end up your days with your neck in a halter, and you'll dance a fine jig between heaven and hell. And the words they did frighten me, the truth for to tell, singing banjin and bowies and gamhna, and the juice of the barley for me. So the very next morning, as the dawn it did break, I went down to the vestry, the pledge for to take, and there in that room sat the priests in a bunch, round a big roaring fire, drinking tumblers of punch, singing banjin and bowies and gamhna, and the juice of the barley for me. Well, from that day to this, I have wandered alone. I'm a jack of all trades and the master of none, with the sky for me roof and the earth for me floor. And I'll dance out me days drinking whiskey galore, singing banjin and bowies and gamhna, and the juice of the barley for